So, good afternoon, students. Today we are discussing about amino acids. Last class lo amino acids introduction and classification గురించి డిస్కస్ చేసాము. సో అదేవిధంగా కొన్ని ప్రిపరేషన్ మెథడ్స్ చూసాము. సో దాని కంటిన్యూషన్ ఈరోజు. So structure synthesis. From structure synthesis we are prepare amino acids. So in this structure synthesis aldehydes are reacted with ammonium chloride and sodium cyanide or potassium cyanide, and it forms amino cyanides, and these amino cyanides undergoes hydrolysis and it forms alpha amino acids. So aldehydes are reacted with ammonium chloride and sodium cyanide or potassium cyanide, and it forms amino cyanide groups. So here amino cyanide is a intermediate product, and this amino cyanide undergoes hydrolysis and it forms ఆల్ఫా అమైనో యాసిడ్స్. సాధారణంగా ఇక్కడ ఆల్డిహైడ్లను అమోనియం క్లోరైడ్ మరియు సోడియం సైనైడ్ లేదా పొటాషియం సైనైడ్లతో చర్య జరిపించినప్పుడు మనకు అమైనో సైనైడ్ అనే ఉత్పన్నం ఏర్పడుతుంది. సో ఇక్కడ ఏర్పడేటువంటి ఈ అమైనో సైనైడ్ను మనం జల విశ్లేషణ చర్య కనుక గురి చేసినట్లయితే ఆల్ఫా అమైనో యాసిడ్ అనేది ఏర్పడడం జరుగుతుంది. సో ఇది స్ట్రక్చర్ సింథసిస్. సో హియర్ the mechanism of structure synthesis. So firstly ammonium chloride reacted with sodium cyanide or potassium cyanide and it forms sodium chloride or potassium chloride and ammonium cyanide. Ammonium chloride react with sodium cyanide or potassium cyanide and it forms sodium chloride or potassium chloride plus NH4Cn, ammonium cyanide, and this ammonium cyanide undergoes dissociation and it forms NH3 ammonia plus HCN, hydrogen cyanide. And then next the aldehyde we are taking, firstly we are taking aldehyde. The aldehyde react with ammonia or C double bond OH react with NH3 and it loss of water molecule and it forms imine RCH double bond NH. It forms imine group, and this imine RCH double bond NH, this imine react with HCN and it forms amino cyanide. It forms amino cyanide. Then this amino cyanide RCH CN NH2, this amino cyanide undergoes hydrolysis reaction and it forms RCH NH2 COOH, that is nothing but alpha amino acid. And then next preparation of alanine through the structure synthesis. So ikkada structure synthesis nu ఆధారంగా చేసుకొని అలెనిన్ను తయారు చేయుట. సో here alanine formula is CH3CH COOH and NH2. So here CH3 is nothing but R, that is alkyl group. So here I am taking aldehyde, that is acetaldehyde, CH3 C double bond O CH3. So here this CH3 C double bond O CH3 aldehyde reacted with ammonium chloride NH4Cl plus NaCN or KCN, sodium cyanide or potassium cyanide, and it forms intermediate product CH3CHCN NH2 amino cyanide, and this amino cyanide undergoes hydrolysis and it forms alpha amino acid, that is nothing but alanine CH3CHNH2 COOH. So this is the preparation of alanine through the structure synthesis. సో ఇక్కడ ఎసిటాల్డిహైడ్ను అమోనియం క్లోరైడ్ మరియు సోడియం సైనైడ్ లేదా పొటాషియం సైనైడ్లతో చర్య జరిపించినప్పుడు మనకు అమైనో సైనైడ్ ఉత్పన్నం ఏర్పడుతుంది. సో ఇక్కడ ఏర్పడినటువంటి ఈ అమైనో సైనైడ్ని జల విశ్లేషణ చర్య కనుక గురి చేసినట్లయితే మనకు ఆల్ఫా అమైనో యాసిడ్ అలెనిన్ అనేది ఏర్పడడం జరుగుతుంది. సో ది నెక్స్ట్ ప్రిపరేషన్ ఆఫ్ వాలిన్ త్రూ ది స్ట్రక్కర్ సింథసిస్. సో స్ట్రక్కర్ సింథసిస్ను ఆధారంగా చేసుకొని వాలిన్ను తయారు చేయుట. సో హియర్ ద వాలిన్ ఫార్ములా CH3 CH CH3 and CH NH2 CO OH. Here the CH3 CH CH3 isopropyl group. The isopropyl group is a alkyl group. Here isopropyl group is a alkyl group. So here CH3 CH CH3 C double bond O H propanaldehyde react with ammonium chloride and sodium cyanide or potassium cyanide, and it forms intermediate product amino cyanide group, and this intermediate product undergoes hydrolysis and it forms alpha amino acid, that is nothing but valine. So here ప్రొపనాల్డిహైడ్ అనేది మనకు అమోనియం క్లోరైడ్ మరియు సోడియం సైనైడ్ లేదా పొటాషియం సైనైడ్లతో చర్య జరిపి అమైనో సైనైడ్ అనే మధ్యస్థ ఉత్పన్నంను ఏర్పరుస్తుంది. ఈ అమైనో సైనైడ్ అనే మధ్యస్థ ఉత్పన్నం మనకు జల విశ్లేషణ చర్యలో పాల్గొని మనకు వాలిన్ని ఏర్పరచడం జరుగుతుంది. సో ఇది ప్రిపరేషన్ ఆఫ్ వాలిన్ త్రూ ది స్ట్రక్కర్ సింథసిస్. So the next one, thalidomylonic ester synthesis. So from thalidomylonic ester synthesis we are preparing here amino acids. So here potassium thalamide react with alpha bromomelonic ester. Potassium thalamide react with alpha bromomelonic ester and it forms thalidomylonic ester. So here loss of potassium bromide. Here, so in this potassium thalamide here K, and in alpha bromomelonic ester bromide, so minus KBr, here loss of KBr and it forms thalidomylonic ester. And these thalidomylonic ester react with sodium as well as alkyl halide and it forms one intermediate product, and this intermediate product undergoes hydrolysis reaction and it forms amino acid NH2CH or COOH and CO2 as well as thalic acid. So this reaction is known as thalidomylonic ester reaction. So potassium thalamide react with alpha bromomelonic ester and it forms thalidomylonic ester. Here loss of potassium bromide, and these thalidomylonic ester react with sodium as well as alkyl halide and it forms the intermediate product, and this intermediate product undergoes hydrolysis and it forms amino acid. సో ఇక్కడ పొటాషియం థాలమైడ్ను మనం ఆల్ఫా బ్రోమో మెలోనిక్ ఎస్టర్తో చర్య జరిపించినప్పుడు పొటాషియం థాలమైడ్ నుండి K ప్లస్ పొటాషియం మరియు ఆల్ఫా బ్రోమో మెలోనిక్ ఎస్టర్ నుండి బ్రోమైడ్ Br మైనస్ అనేది మనకు మైనస్ KBrగా వెళ్ళిపోయి మనకు థాలమైడో మెలోనిక్ ఎస్టర్ను ఏర్పరచును. సో ఇక్కడ ఏర్పడేటువంటి ఈ థాలమైడోమెలోనిక్ ఎస్టర్ అనేది మనకు సోడియం మరియు ఆల్కైల్ హాలైడ్లతో చర్య జరిపి మధ్యస్థ ఉత్పన్నంను ఏర్పరచును. సో ఇక్కడ ఏర్పడేటువంటి ఈ మధ్యస్థ ఉత్పన్నం అనేది మనకు జల విశ్లేషణ చర్యలో పాల్గొని అమైనో ఆమ్లంను ఏర్పరచడం జరుగుతుంది. అదేవిధంగా CO2ను మరియు థాలిక్ ఆమ్లంను ఏర్పరచడం జరుగుతుంది. So the next example, so through the preparation through the Thalamido malonic ester synthesis, we are preparing alanine. So here the alanine formula CH3 CH NH2 and COOH. Here CH3 is the alkyl group, R is equal to CH3. Here I am taking potassium thalamide, and this potassium thalamide react with alpha bromo malonic ester, and here loss of potassium bromide, and it forms thalamido malonic ester, and these thalamido malonic ester react with sodium and alkyl halide. Here alkyl halide, that is the CH3Br, and it forms the intermediate product. Here the alkyl substituted at CH, and this intermediate product undergoes hydrolysis, and it forms alpha amino acid, that is nothing but alanine NH2 CH CH3 COOH plus థాలిక్ యాసిడ్. సో ఇక్కడ పొటాషియం థాలమైన్ను ఆల్ఫా బ్రోమో మెలోనిక్ ఎస్టర్తో చర్య జరిపించినప్పుడు కేబిఆర్ అనేది వెళ్ళిపోయి రిమూవ్ అయిపోయి మనకు థాలమైడో మెలోనిక్ ఎస్టర్ను ఏర్పరచును. సో ఇక్కడ ఏర్పడ్డటువంటి థాలమైడో మెలోనిక్ ఎస్టర్ను సోడియంతో అదేవిధంగా ఆల్కైల్ హాలైడ్తో, ఇక్కడ ఆల్కైల్ హాలైడ్ను మనం CH3Brగా తీసుకున్నాము. సో వీటితో చర్య జరిపి మనకు మధ్యస్థ ఉత్పన్నంను ఏర్పరచును. ఇక్కడ ఆల్కైల్ గ్రూప్ అనేది మనకు ఇక్కడ కార్బన్కి అటాచ్ అవుతుంది. సో ఇక్కడ ఏర్పడ్డటువంటి ఈ ఉత్పన్నం మనకు జల విశ్లేషణ చర్యలో పాల్గొని ఆల్ఫా అమైనో యాసిడ్ను ఏర్పరచును. ఆల్ఫా అమైనో యాసిడ్ మనకి ఇక్కడ NH2 CH CH3 COOH, అది మనకు అలెనిన్గా ఏర్పడడం జరుగుతుంది. అదేవిధంగా CO2 మరియు థాలిక్ ఆమ్లం అనేది ఏర్పడుతుంది. So through this thalamido malonic ester preparation, we are preparing leucine. So here leucine formula CH3 CH CH3 CH2 CH NH2 COOH. So this is the leucine formula. Here CH3 CH CH3 CH2 is a alkyl group in this preparation. So R is equal to CH3 CH CH2 NH2. Isobutyl group is a alkyl group. So here the potassium thalamide react with alpha bromo malonic ester, and these alpha and here loss of potassium bromide, potassium thalamide react with alpha bromo malonic ester, loss of KBr, and it forms thalamido malonic ester, and these thalamido malonic ester react with sodium as well as alkyl halide. Here alkyl halide is CH3 CH CH3 CH2Br, and it forms an intermediate product, and here the alkyl group is attached to the carbon, and this intermediate product undergoes hydrolysis, and it forms alpha amino acid, that is nothing but leucine. So the leucine is CH3 CH CH3 CH2 CH NH2 COOH and CO2 the byproduct, and థాలిక్ యాసిడ్. Here alpha bromo potassium thalamide react with alpha bromo malonic ester. సో పొటాషియం థాలమైడ్ అనేది మనకు ఆల్ఫా బ్రోమో మెలోనిక్ ఎస్టర్తో చర్య జరిపి థాలమైడో మెలోనిక్ ఎస్టర్ని ఏర్పరచును. ఈ థాలమైడో మెలోనిక్ ఎస్టర్ అనేది మనకు సోడియం మరియు ఆల్కైల్ హాలైడ్తో CH3 CH CH2 Brతో చర్య జరిపి మధ్యస్థ ఉత్పన్నం ఏర్పడును. సో ఇక్కడ ఆల్కైల్ గ్రూప్ అనేది మనకు కార్బన్కు బంధించబడి ఉంటుంది. సో ఇది మనకు ఈ మధ్యస్థ ఉత్పన్నం అనేది జల విశ్లేషణ చర్యలో పాల్గొని అమైనో ఆమ్లంను ఆల్ఫా అమైనో ఆమ్లంను ఏర్పరచడం జరుగుతుంది. సో దీస్ ఆర్ ద ప్రిపరేషన్స్ ఆఫ్ alpha amino acids. In these preparation methods, first we are discussing about from alpha halo compounds, that is nothing but HVG reaction, and then next Strucker synthesis from thalamoidomalonic ester, and then next physical properties of amino acids. So in these physical properties, firstly we are discussing about optical activity. So here except glycine, all are natural alpha amino acids. So here except glycine, all natural alpha amino acids are asymmetric and it exhibits optical activity. Here all the amino acids are similar to the structure of L-glyceraldehyde. All the amino acids are similar to the structure of L-glyceraldehyde. So here the amino acids are also containing similar structure to the L-glyceraldehyde. So the structure of L-glyceraldehyde is C double bond OH and CH3, and it contains asymmetric carbon or chiral carbon. So here left side OH group is present and right side hydrogen. So that is the name of L-glyceraldehyde and L-alpha amino acid. The structure is at first carbon COOH and at last carbon alkyl group, or it contain one chiral or asymmetric carbon. This asymmetric carbon attach left side NH2 and right side hydrogen. Here all amino acids are exhibits S configuration. All amino acids are exhibits S configuration. This is the optical activity. And the next zwitterion. So the general formula of here, the general formula of amino acids is RCH COOH and NH2. These amino acids are containing two functional groups. One is COOH, that is nothing but carboxylic acid group, and NH2 amino functional group. So here COOH group is a acidic nature and it proton donor group, and NH2 group is a basic group. It has a basic nature, and here proton acceptor group. So here proton transfer takes place in alpha amino acid and results a charged ion. Here proton transfer takes place in alpha amino acids and results a charged ion. So here NH2CH or C double bond OH amino acid. So this is the chargeless form of amino acid. So this is a minor product and it gives NH3 plus CH or C double bond O minus. Here generally in amino acids, సో ఇక్కడ సాధారణంగా మనకు అమైనో ఆమ్లాలు అనేటివి ఆమ్ల స్వభావం కలిగినటువంటి ఎసిడిక్ నేచర్ కలిగినటువంటి COOH ప్రమేయ సమూహాన్ని కలిగి ఉంటాయి. COOH ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్ని కలిగి ఉండడం జరుగుతుంది. సో అదేవిధంగా క్షార స్వభావాన్ని కలిగినటువంటి సో బేసిసిటీని కలిగినటువంటి NH2 సమూహం NH2 గ్రూప్ను కలిగి ఉండడం జరుగుతుంది. సో ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుందంటే మనకు ఈ ఆమ్ల స్వభావం కలిగినటువంటి కార్బాక్సిలిక్ సమూహం COOH సమూహం అనేది మనకు ఒక ప్రోటాన్ని క్షార స్వభావం కలిగినటువంటి NH2కు దానం చేయడం వల్ల సో ఇక్కడ NH2 పైన మనకు పాక్షిక ధనావేశం ఏర్పడుతుంది. కార్బాక్సిలిక్ సమూహం పైన పాక్షిక రుణావేశం ఏర్పడడం జరుగుతుంది. ఈ విధంగా ఒకే సమ్మేళనంలో రెండు విరుద్ధావేశాలు కనుక ఉన్నట్లయితే దాన్ని జ్విట్టర్ అయాన్ అని అంటారు. సాధారణంగా అమైనో ఆమ్లాలలో ఆమ్ల స్వభావం కలిగినటువంటి COOH సమూహం ఉంటుంది, క్షార స్వభావం కలిగినటువంటి NH2 సమూహం ఉంటుంది. ఆమ్ల స్వభావం కలిగినటువంటి COOH క్షార స్వభావం కలిగినటువంటి NH2కు ఒక ప్రోటాన్ను ఇవ్వడం వల్ల క్షార సమూహం పైన పాక్షిక ధనావేశం ఏర్పడి ఆమ్ల సమూహం పైన పాక్షిక రుణావేశం ఏర్పడుతుంది. సో ఈ విధంగా ఒకే సమ్మేళనంలో రెండు విరుద్ధావేశాలు కనుక ఉన్నట్లయితే అటువంటి వాటిని జ్విట్టర్ అయాన్లు అంటారు. సో హియర్ the chargeless form of amino acid is a minor, and here the carboxylic group the proton transfers to NH2 and it forms NH3 plus CH or C double bond O minus or NH3 plus CH or COO minus. So this is the Zwitter ion form. Here the Zwitter ion form is a major compound or product. So next, the charged ion contain COO minus, that is carboxylate anion, and NH3 plus ammonium cation. So this dipolar ion is called Zwitter ion. So here the amino acid contains two charged species. The amino acids contains two charged species. So one is the positive charge at an atom, at nitrogen atom, and one is negative charged at carboxylate oxygen. So that's why this dipolar ion is called as Zwitter ion. Generally amino acids are contain two charged species. In this two, one is positive charged at nitrogen atom and one is negative charged at, that is presented carboxylate oxygen. That's why this type of dipolar ions is called as Zwitter ion. So then next the evidences for the structure of Zwitter ion. So here amino acids possess high melting point, that is nothing but above 200 degrees centigrade, and this indicates dipolar nature. For example, glycine, we are taking glycine, the glycine formula NH3 plus CH2 COO minus. Here the melting point of glycine is 262 degrees centigrade. So the next solubility. So generally amino acids dissolved more in water than ether. Amino acids are dissolved more in water than ether. So here high solubility in water, it is nothing but polar solvents, here indicates dipolar nature. High solubility in water indicates it contain dipolar nature. The next, the amino acids do not dissolve in the other organic solvents. Amino acids do not dissolve in other organic solvents except ether. The next, polar character or dipole moment. So here amino acids have higher dipole moment. Amino acids have higher dipole moment when compared to common amines or normal amines or carboxylic acids. So amino acids are having higher dipole moment when compared to normal amines or common amines or carboxylic acids. So here we are discussing example of glycine. So glycine formula here NH3 plus CH2 COO minus. The dipole moment of glycine is mu is equal to 14 Defi units. And the next the propyl amine CH3 CH2 CH2 NH2 propyl amine dipole moment is 1.4 D Defi units. The next CH3 CH2 COOH propanoic acid, the propanoic acid value is 1.7 D. So this shows salt like character. This shows salt like character or high polarity for the amino acid. Then next we are discussing amphoteric nature. Amphoteric nature. Here the general formula of amino acids is RCH, COOH and NH2. So generally amino acids are contains two functional groups, that is carboxylic group and amine group NH2. So here amino acids are containing both acidic, that is nothing but COOH group, and basic, that is NH2 groups. So these can be react with acids as well as with bases. Generally the amino acids are react with acids as well as bases. That's why this is called as amphoteric nature. That's why this is called as amphoteric nature. So then this amphoteric nature is also one of the indication of dipolar form of amino acids. This amphoteric nature is also one of the indicates of dipolar form of amino acids. So these are the evidences for the existence of Zwitter ion. So generally మనకు ఇక్కడ అమైనో ఆమ్లం అనేది క్షార స్వభావం కలిగినటువంటి NH2 సమూహాన్ని, ఆమ్ల స్వభావం కలిగినటువంటి COOH సమూహాన్ని కలిగి ఉంటుంది. సో రెండు ఉండటం వల్ల మనకి ఇది యాసిడ్తో మరియు బేసెస్తో చర్య జరుపుతుంది, కాబట్టి వీటిని ఆంఫోటెరిక్ నేచర్ అంటారు. సో హియర్ ద ఆంఫోటెరిక్ నేచర్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో వన్ ఆఫ్ ది ఇండికేషన్ ఆఫ్ డైపోలార్ ఫామ్ ఆఫ్ అమైనో యాసిడ్స్. ఇది కూడా మనకు డైపోలార్ ఫామ్ని సూచించడం జరుగుతుంది. సో హియర్ దీస్ ఆర్ ద ఎవిడెన్సెస్ ఫర్ ది existence of Zwitter ion. So then next we are discussing isoelectric point. So here the acidic character of amino acids, are less than that of carboxylic acids. Acidic character of amino acids less than that of carboxylic acids. So here basic character of amino acids, the next basic character of amino acids are less than that of amines. So here the general formula of amino acid are here. We know that the Zwitter ion form, that is NH3 plus CH or COO minus. In this Zwitter ion, so NH3 plus is a acidic nature and COO minus is a basic nature. So here after formation of Zwitter ion, in the amino acid, the acidic part is not a COOH group, because the COOH groups become COO minus. So because one proton H plus is takes place from COOH to the amine. After formation of Zwitter ion in amino acids, the acidic part is not a COOH group. Why? Because the COOH group becomes CO minus. So here one proton is transferred to take place to the amine. The COOH group one proton gives to amine group. So here the COOH is not existing the Zwitter ion, that is COO minus only. So it means the acid. So here the acidic character of amino acids is not from the carboxylic group. It is form the amino group, that is NH3 plus aminium group, that is NH3 plus aminium group. So here the basic group is NH2. Generally here the basic group is NH2, but here the NH2 group is present like NH2, that is present like NH3 plus. So it is a acidic. Now the basic part like would be COO minus. So acidic part is like NH3 plus. So here the basic part like COO minus. So that's why NH3 plus is a acidic and COO minus is a basic in the nature. So dipolar forms of alpha amino acids. That's why the NH3 plus is a acidic and COO minus is a basic in nature in the dipolar forms of amino acids. So here if you observe the acidic and basic character of carboxylate and aminium ions, so if you observe the pKa values, so here the pKa value of RCOOH or COOH carboxylic acid, this is indicates a acidity is more. This is indicates the acidity is more. Here the carboxylic group pKa value is 5, and the next amine group RNH2, the pKb value is 4. This is indicates the basicity is little more. It indicates the basicity is little more. So but in this in the dipolar ion or in the Zwitter ion form of alpha amino acids, that pKa value is very less. The pKa value is very less. That indicates the acidic nature of NH3 plus is very less. The acidic nature of NH3 plus is very less. Here the pKa value is equal to 10. Then the pKb in this example NH3 plus CHR C double bond O minus. So here the NH3 pKa value is 10. This is very less. It indicates the acidic nature of NH3 plus is very less. The pKb is equal to 12. This is indicates COO minus pKb value, and the basic nature of CO minus is also very less. So that means when compared to the common carboxylic group, here when compared to the common carboxylic group and common ion group or normal carboxylic group or normal amine group, the acidic and basic nature of aminium ion, acidic and basic nature of aminium ion and carboxylate group is very less. So here observe the Zwitter ion NH3 plus CHR COO minus, and it react with H plus and it forms a cationic form. This is an acidic solution. So it forms NH3 plus CHR COOH, and the Zwitter ion react with OH. Here NH2 CH COO minus and R. This is the anionic form, that is basic solution. So here the cationic form of pH value less than 6. The anionic form, that is basic solution, the pH value is greater than 7, and the jitter ion pH value is 6 to 7, that is nothing but the neutral here. And we are discussing one example. So here we are taking dipolar structure of alanine. So zwitter ion NH3 plus CH3 COO minus. The zwitter ion pH is nearly 6 or 6 to 7. This is react with H plus and it forms cationic form NH3 plus CH3 COOH. That is a cationic form. The cationic form pH is 2.3, and this zwitter ion react with OH minus and it forms anionic form NH2 CH3 COO minus. Here the pH value is 9.7. Then next, the pH at which ammonia or which amino acids, the pH at which amino acids present more as dipolar ion. The pH at which amino acids present more as dipolar ion, that is nothing but zwitter ion, and it form that is called as isoelectric point. The pH at which amino acids present more as dipolar ion, that is nothing but zwitter ion. The type of reaction is called isoelectric point. Here zwitter ionic form of alpha amino acids is RCH COO minus and NH3 plus. This react with acid and it forms cationic form or cation RCH COOH and NH3 plus. So here more towards cathode, and these zwitter ionic form of alpha amino acids react with base OH minus and it forms anionic form or anode RCH COO minus and CH2. This is a more towards to anode. So in the above reaction, the zwitter ion form of alpha amino acids in the acidic medium H plus, so it is form cationic form. In the above reaction, the zwitter ionic form of alpha amino acids in the acidic medium, so it forms cationic form. And this reaction, the basic medium OH minus will takes H plus from the NH3 plus, that NH2 will be there, and automatically it is in the anionic form. So here the pH at which can be amino acid does not move towards either anode or cathode is called as isoelectric point. The pH at which an amino acids does not move towards either anode side or cathode side is called as isoelectric point. సో జనరల్గా మనకి ఇక్కడ ఏ pH విలువ వద్దనైతే ఒక అమైనో ఆమ్లం యానోడ్ వైపు కానీ క్యాథోడ్ వైపు కానీ చలించకుండా స్థిరంగా ఉంటాయో, ఏ pH విలువ వద్దనైతే ఒక అమైనో ఆమ్లం యానోడ్ వైపు కానీ క్యాథోడ్ వైపు కానీ చలించకుండా స్థిరంగా ఉంటాయో ఆ pH విలువనే ఆ అమైనో ఆమ్లం యొక్క సమవిద్యుత్ స్థానం లేదా isoelectric point అని అంటారు. సో దెన్ నెక్స్ట్ ఎట్ isoelectric point, సో సమవిద్యుత్ స్థానం దగ్గర మనకు సో డైపోలార్ అయాన్ ఆర్ zwitter ion form is more. Dipolar ion form is more or zwitter ion form is more. That is, the amino acids are existing. The amino acids are existing as more in the form of dipolar ions, not as not as anions as well as cations. So, dipolar ion or Zwitter ion form is more at isoelectric point. That is, the amino acids are existing as more in the form of dipolar ions, not as anions as well as cations. So, the next point, the magnitude of physical properties are minimum. The magnitude of physical properties are minimum. And the next, the solubility in water is less. Solubility in water is less. The next, the mobility and electrical conductivity and osmotic pressure and viscosity are less. The mobility and the electrical conductivity and the osmotic pressure and viscosity are less. So at isoelectric point, less at isoelectric point. So based on these properties, so that automatically amino acids can be separated and we can identify isoelectric point. The above points or above properties, automatically amino acids can be separated and we can identify isoelectric points. So here the isoelectric point can be used to separate the amino acids. The isoelectric point can be used to separate the amino acids. So here we'll see the one example of separate the amino acids. So based on the isoelectric point. So here we know that there are three kind of amino acids are there. Three kind of amino acids are there based on the acidity and basicity. So here based on the acidity and basicity, the amino acids are classified into three types. So that is acidic amino acids, neutral amino acids and basic amino acids. So the isoelectric point for the isoelectric point of acidic amino acids would be less than 5. The isoelectric point of acidic amino acids would be less than 5. The next, the isoelectric point of neutral amino acids. The isoelectric point of neutral amino acids would be between 5 to 6.3. Between 5 to 6.3. And the isoelectric point of basic amino acids. Isoelectric point of basic amino acids would be greater than 6.3. Greater than 6.3. Because in the acidic amino acids will be having additional acidic group. Because in the acidic amino acid will be having additional acidic group. That's why the isoelectric point would be less. That's why the isoelectric point would be less. In the basic amino acids, along with one amine and one carboxylic acid group. So here we are having one additional basic group. That's why those are basic amino acids. That's why those are basic amino acids and additional basic group is present, the automatically the isoelectric point would be greater than 6.3. The isoelectric point would be greater than 6.3. So here observe the examples, that is alanine NH3 plus CH, COO minus and CH3. So here the alanine isoelectric point is 6.0. These alanine which is a neutral amino acid, and the next example lysine NH3 plus CH, COO minus and CH3 taken 4 NH3 plus. The lysine isoelectric point is 9.7. It contains two amino groups. Here lysine is a basic amino acid. And the next example, aspartic acid, NH3 plus, CH, COO minus, CH2, COO minus. And here the isoelectric point of aspartic acid is 2.8. Isoelectric point of aspartic acid is 2.8. It contains additionally one COOH group. This aspartic acid contains additionally one COOH group, and this aspartic acid is a acidic amino acid. And the next separation of amino acids by using isoelectric point value. Separation of amino acids by using isoelectric point value. So just here observe, we have discussed now. So that is alanine IEP isoelectric point value is 6.0. It is a neutral. And lysine isoelectric point is 9.7. This is the basic character. And the next aspartic acid, the IEP isoelectric point value of aspartic acid is 2.8. It is acidic nature. So here we'll be taking the mixture of these three amino acids on a paper. These three amino acids mixtures as taking on a paper, that is alanine plus lysine plus aspartic acid. These mixtures taken on a paper. Now the maintain of a pH is 6.0 by then through the buffer solution. And the buffer solution is used to maintain pH value. So generally here we are taking mixture of amino acids, that is alanine plus lysine and aspartic acid taken on a paper. Now here maintain the pH value, that is 6.0. Then through the buffer solution, the buffer solution is used to maintain. Here buffer solution is used to maintain pH value. And here the pH 6.0 mixture of alanine, lysine and aspartic acid placed on a paper. At pH 6.0, the alanine in the dipolar form. Because it is a neutral amino acid. At pH 6.0, the alanine in the dipolar form. సాధారణంగా 6.0 దగ్గర అలెనిన్ అనేది మనకు డైపోలార్ ఫామ్గా ఉండడం జరుగుతుంది, బికాజ్ ఇట్స్ ఏ న్యూట్రల్ అమైనో యాసిడ్. NH3 plus CH, CH3, COO minus. And lysine is in the form of cation. At pH 6, the lysine is in the form of cation. NH3 plus CH, COO minus, and CH2 taken 4 and NH3 plus. So one anion and one cation is there. But automatically as amine group is there. Because it is a basic group. And which is accepted one proton. So it is in the form of cation. And in this mixture, the aspartic acid is in the form of anion. Because NH3 plus and CH2COO minus, CH2COO minus, because it consists of one additional COO minus group. So here at pH, here at pH 6.0, alanine is a dipolar form. Alanine is a dipolar form and lysine is a cationic form, and aspartic acid is a anionic form. So it is maintained through the buffer solution. It is maintained through the buffer solution. So here now we are take electrolysis process. This is the process of electrolysis, and from this electrolysis process we are separate the mixture of amino acids. In this process here ఒకవైపు క్యాథోడ్ ఉంది, మనకు ఒకవైపు యానోడ్ ఉండడం జరుగుతుంది. సో హియర్ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ కరెంట్ సప్లై. సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద beginning point and this is the ending point. In this process, so here cathode, this is the lysine and middle one is alanine and this is the aspartic acid. So here lysine, it moves to cathode side, and aspartic acid, it moves to anode side. Then alanine is it's stable. This is cannot move anode side or cathode side. So in this mixture of alanine, lysine and aspartic acid can be separated by isoelectric point. In this process, alanine and lysine and aspartic acid can be separated by the isoelectric point.